Ah, buongiorno, friends. How's it hanging? How's it going? Welcome in. We're gonna be playing some spooky dating sims tonight. Um, I don't think this is voice. I don't know. Oh, gross! I eat a piece of this straw thing. Ew. I can't remember if this is voice, and I want to say it's probably not. Which is really unfortunate because then I'm gonna have to read stuff and my voice is shot. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. And if I get too tired, that's okay. We'll figure it out. But yeah, welcome guys, welcome. Stay. Right, nope, you're too small. And I got too big. Okay, let me get this. Audio setup. Nope, nope, that's the wrong audio. This one. Yeah, we're gonna just do a good old Dreamcast. Yeah, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. Anyway, we're gonna be playing this, well, actually, the audio is very sad right now. We're gonna be playing this, it is labeled a horror dating sim. I think that there's some topics in here that relate to death, so just letting you guys know. The title is as a free horror visual novel about an ill-fated journey across Sinlos, a lake where gruesome monsters lurk beneath the surface. With times being so dire, you'll need to decide what and who is going to be sacrificed. Anyone can be saved, but not everyone can be. And I don't know if there's any... I don't know if there's any, like, triggers in this. But just keep in mind, as always... Oh, fuck. I don't know if Mix It Up is open. Hold on. My headpads. Give me just a moment. I'm really dropping the ball. Let me fix it. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, I fixed it. It should be working now. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna start this. I have no clue what this game is like. I don't know. I've never seen anyone play it. I don't know if it's good or if it's bad or what. So we're gonna go on this journey together. If it's really scary, well, it's Halloween. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Timed! Time running out isn't something to completely avoid. In some cases, not getting involved can... Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Page up key? That's weird. And T key opens full text history. Okay. Other choices aren't timed. They determine whether Kika has any special affection or another character or not. if you survive until the second night of the story, the story will branch off into one of 5 different plot lines based on your earlier decisions. Whoa. The other characters cannot manage all situations in the various plot lines regardless of what you do. If a character isn't making it, try getting that plot with a different set of survivors or having the same. So I could bring someone along who's not. This is like in Mass Effect when they do the mission where, like, if you choose the wrong character to do the wrong thing, they'll die. Becoming closer to someone can add or remove future choice options and change how some scenes play out. Your decision to build that connection may not go unnoticed by the other characters. They're gonna notice! Whoa. And I need a fucking wiki for this shit. I guess I'm just, you know what? We're just gonna have to wing it. Gonna have to wing it. My grip on my lantern tightens as the fog around us thickens. While the forests in this area are relatively safe compared to Sinlow's. Oh, can you guys see my mouse? Oh, not really. I can't help but feel my hair stand on end the further we get. We're going right into it, I guess. Okay. Let's see. My free hand fingers the hilt of my sword. Oh, we have a sword. Oh, you guys can't, like, see the fucking text. Maybe we'll... Can we move it? Move it over a little bit. Oh, there's so many things. Okay, we've got 2 things. Okay. Figure something out. There you go. We moved it over a little bit so we could see. My giant body's in the way. There, that's better.
Have you seen it before?
Who the fuck are you? Bamel. Have you seen it before? Oh, it is voiced. Yay! I'm alright. Bamel breaks the silence, either sensing my unease or assuaging his own. I hope it's the latter.
I haven't. I've had no reason to go near this cursed lake until now. What of you?
We're very serious, you guys. We're so serious. Can we be... What are these? Skip transitions? What does that mean? So this is us, I guess. Kika? I don't like Kika, so we're gonna call her Kika, I guess. Although I don't know if Kika, maybe she can be Kiki. Anyway, he's kind of cute. But Mal scratches his chin casually, as though I ask what his favorite food is.
I traveled the long way around it once before. Not so pleasant.
Oi,
Something
go.
about it just
Oi, more
grated
passion,
on the
more
nerves.
passion, more passion, more energy, more energy, more footwork, more footwork, more footwork,
More
passion,
footwork, more passion,
energy.
more energy. Hi, RGB Boss, welcome in. He's kind of handsome. So I'm not the only one who feels it. A sense of relief hits me. but not enough to undo the buzzing of anxiety. The lake, Sinlos. Most try their best to avoid it all their lives. The hundreds who die attempting to cross it, unearthly black water, dragged to death by the creatures lurking within, aren't a secret. I forgot to change my name. It's Dave. Oh, hi, Dave. I can call you Moth if you want.
No wonder you were assigned this mission.
There are few who've had first-hand experience with the place, even if from a distance. He'll probably keep being picked whenever they need someone to cross, for however long he's with us. But Mel shrugs, bringing my attention back to the dark path before us.
At least we're taking the bridge this time. It'll only take 2 days instead of double that, and the sooner this place is behind us, the better.
It would be preferable not to risk it. But time is of the essence. We don't really have a choice.
One of our allied villages, Hemi. That's probably a good, that's probably a good plan. How's it going, Dave? How are you? Are you gonna see Chainsaw Man tomorrow? I could have seen it today, but instead I didn't. In a true act of self-restraint, I stood in line to see Chainsaw Man, and I only bought a popcorn bucket and then left. I wanted to see it so bad, but I'm going with a bunch of my friends tomorrow, and I just feel like it will not be as fun if I already have seen it randomly today. So I know myself. I know I'll have the most fun the first time I see it. So I said, no, I have to not do that. Well, I got there so early, like, there was only, like, maybe, like 14 people in line ahead of us. So I technically could have probably got a seat. They were doing, like, a free showing today. That if you had, like, a pass from certain events, like, they were at a local con. Like, people from Sony, like, representatives from Sony were at a local con, and they were giving away free passes to see it a day early. I did see a couple people though. I think they were at the con that I was at. Finally got my AC fixed after it's either completely broken or partially broken for the past month. Oh my god. Is it still hot there? It's getting pretty chilly where I'm at. I wore a jacket today. And I had my heater on. Well, I always have my heater on, but... Okay, alrighty, okay. Alright, Bamel. Anyways, Hemi, our allied village, is being harassed by brigadiers, a band of ruffians. We don't have many guards to send as an assist, only Bamel and myself. Oh, so we've been working together for a while. Ew! Well, ew, but also I kind of wish that were me. I'm cold. I'm cold. Should we add a little blankie, you guys? I could do that. A little blankie. Hell yeah. Anyway. What is it attached to? I feel like if I move it, it's probably attached to my boobs. Alright, that's better. Now it doesn't jiggle. Oh, it's a little high up. If I can... I'm gonna charge it for just a minute. Oh my god, calm down. There we go. Better, perhaps? I have no... Is it? I don't know what it's attached to. Maybe it's actually attached to my boobs now. My boobie. That's fine. Anyway, back to business. We are the only people who can fight the ruffians, apparently. Least we can do is arrive before we are too late to be of any use. These kinds of squabbles happen often, but have to be put down lest they turn into a blood grudge or all-out war. The last we heard, neither option was that far off. I'm wondering how cold it is going to be when I get back home for Christmas. Ugh. Well, it hasn't been as cold as it has in the past. Like last year, it was only like, it didn't drop below 30s for much of the winter. Yeah, it was really warm. People keep coming into my work being like, oh, well, tick season is over. And I'm like, bruh, ticks are out anytime it's above freezing, which was literally all last year. There were ticks I pulled ticks off dogs last year in February. There is no tick season anymore. If it's not below freezing, there's ticks and mosquitoes and shit and all the horrible buggers and fleas. They're all out there. A non-zero tangent. Why Singapore? What's there?
I can also see why they chose you to come out here.
What do you mean, Bamel? I glanced at Bamel, an eyebrow raise. What's that mean? A slight smile plays across his lips. Oh, don't be cheeky, Bamel. Don't be cheeky, Bamel.
You're always so calm and so serious. Nothing can get to you. You're the best choice they had. You're always so calm and so serious. Nothing can get to you. You're the best choice they had.
Okay, the dialogue borked for a minute. Oh, okay. So like a work thing. Okay, I see. That makes more sense. A smile now tugs at my own lips. I would like to thank him, but that wouldn't be so calm and serious as he just described. You can thank. It's okay. And if that's how he sees me, I'd like to keep it that way. My lack of reaction only makes his smile grow, and he chuckles a bit before refocusing on the path. I do the same. It wouldn't be right to let my guard down in a place like this. But Mel appears to feel differently, however.
You know the town on the other side of the lake, though? It's not so similar to ours. If all goes well, perhaps we'll have enough time to enjoy the new area.
For the most part, I ignore him, nodding when applicable. But Mel is a talkative sort, and if chatting helps keep his worries down and his sword hand ready, I have no complaints. Ooh, music change. After a time, the thick fog surrounding us begins to clear. A slick wooden dock comes into view, and with it the sounds of water gently lapping at its sides. Mel shifts beside me, stretching his lantern arm as far as it will go. It seems tense.
Someone's already here.
Someone's here. Oh, she cute. Who dat? A young woman stands by the dock, eyeing us warily. Does she intend to cross tonight? Evidently, she has the same question. As we step up next to her, it's clear she isn't simply passing by. She's waiting. A stranger. Oh, the stranger nods curtly to us.
Margaret.
Margaret. I'm Margaret.
Kika the Steadfast.
When you fucking introduce yourself with the title, I'm Kika the Steadfast. Nice to meet you.
Bamele. Hello?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Kika the Steadfast.
Okay, her name is Kika.
Bamele.
Bemele?
Hello?
That's weird. Oh, they're kind of cute together. Bamele. I don't like that. I like Bamel. There's a stuffy silence. Margaret turns to gaze out across the lake, expression unclear. With not much to say, Bamele. Bamale and I do the same. I don't like that. We're calling him Bamao. Oh my god. That's wild. That's wacky. From here, the black surface of the lake looks disarmingly calm. Wind rushes across its surface, a sound like whisper. Though perhaps it actually is whispering. I concentrate trying to place the difference, searching for breaks in rhythm. After a few seconds, I feel foolish. Doesn't matter what the noise is, whether I hear them or not, we're not alone. The Nixie are out there. Oh, the Nixie. A feeling that I can't quite shake tells me that we've already noticed the little group of people that they've already noticed. The little group of people on their shores. It feels hostile. My stomach sinks, and I instead address Vimel.
Where is the guide?
Where is the guide?
Unless he's on the center island or on the complete other side, your guess is as good as mine. It's dark as pitch out there.
Alright, music. We need the voices to be louder and the music to calm the fuck down. Panic rises inside me. Panic I try hard to quell. I thought we were super calm and collected.
We can't cross without him, and we need to get going soon.
You can't cross with him either.
I love how she's like, you can't cross with him either. Either, my love. The woman behind us, Margaret, cuts in with something like a snort. Oh, she's kind of a jerk.
What?
What?
I know the guide will be here tonight. I have already made arrangements with him to cross.
Mel and I share a look. The woman seems haughty and willing to put up a fuss. I'm shoving her in the water first.
I have his word he'll take me today. It would be wiser for the two of you to begin the trip around if you're really in such a hurry. Or you can make camp here and wait for him to make the trip back if you prefer.
Wow, I hate her. I hate her. She sucks. She's not fun at all. I don't like her. I don't need to turn my attention to Mamal. To know he's riled up. I step in before he can say something rash. To say something rash myself, hopefully?
Even if that is so, my companion and I must begin the trip tonight.
Margaret is unimpressed and opens her mouth to argue further.
We'll wait for the guide to arrive before coming to a conclusion about any of this.
She clamps her mouth shut and then lets out a sigh.
You can do as you like.
The matter tentatively settled, but Melee moves away. His finger begins to tap loudly against the top of his hilt. He shifts from one foot to another, and then groans.
What's that bastard even up to?
I almost visibly start, but manage to restrain myself. He probably doesn't know any better. I'm sure of that. It's not worth mentioning. What? What do you mean?
With a mouth like that, you shouldn't even have the right to ask the guide to take you across.
How ludicrous. He's faced far worse than a bit of foul language.
Do you know anything that's happened with this lake?
I know enough.
Oh no, the parents are arguing. I gotta go, you guys. I can't deal with this. Margaret is clearly not convinced, but she shrugs and makes a show of turning her back to him.
The guide's father is Garvin the Exemplar. Garvin never accepted the guide as his son, all the way up until he died in this lake. Your statement could be seen as tasteless.
Oh shit. He literally is like the bastard son of some guy named Garvin the Exemplar. I bet he pushed him in. Can you kiss the guide? Who's romanceable in this game? Who's romanceable in this game? How come the only, like, female character in this is Margaret, who's a dick? Unfortunate. Does everyone in this game have an epithet? I don't know. That guy's just Bamele. And I'm Kika the Steadfast, apparently. I don't know. The other two people are normal.
Oh.
Bamele rubs the back of his neck. His face regretful.
My apologies to the guide. I didn't mean it that way. I never knew about his... well, that.
Smile spreads across my face when I quickly wipe away. He really did just misspeak. Bro, why you gotta hide your emotions? Just let him out, girl. Let him out. Silence slowly stretches between the three of us, growing more awkward. Someone else, please arrive. With each passing second, Margaret seems irritated and Bamele abashed. Oh. I do not want to talk to Margaret. Margaret can get fucked in the butt. That sounds mean. Margaret can go jump in a lake. Ah!
I know you. You are brash but not intentionally cruel. I'm sure all is well.
Bamele smiles and claps me on the back.
You're a good woman, Kika. Smart, too. You've never been here, yet you knew more of the guy than I did.
I know about Garvin, truthfully. Tales of his deeds were some of the only stories my parents ever told.
Is that so? You could tell me more about it sometime.
Are you asking me on a date, Bamele? I'll do it, you're cute. I pause, unsure how to respond to this type of request. It's date time, bitch.
I would like that very much.
Oh, he's blushing! We're already getting the blushing. He's blushing. I would also like that, Bamele.
Yes, I wouldn't mind that. It must wait until after this trip, though.
Why is she so fucking formal? It must wait until after this trip, though.
Of course. We should drop this topic sooner rather than later, in any case.
I agree.
I agree. Yes, Bamele. I am actually a robot. Kika's a robot. It explains everything. Yes, Bamele. I agree. We should broach this topic later. Beep boop bop boop bop. I'm Kika the robot. Even if there's no harm meant, hearing someone mention Garvin is probably difficult for the guide, no matter what the circumstance. With the topic dropped, we each remain locked inside our own thoughts, not another word passing between us. Hi, Vic! How's it going?
Yeah.
Illegally distinct from Gunpla. Heck? I'm doing alright. Osiris Aerial Dominator. That is badass. That is badass, Dave. Alrighty. You got it, Vic. Go, go, go. Blech. Blech. Drink something disgusting. Guys, I'm so excited about Chainsaw Man tomorrow. I feel like it's so hyped up in my mind that I like can't control myself. I don't know if I'm more hyped up for this movie or for Haikyuu movie. I was very hyped for Haikyuu, and there was a lot of yelling coming from me. I hope it is fucking badass. I'm sure it will be. I was rewatching Chainsaw Man today and earlier this week, and like, show fucking slaps, you guys. The fact that they did a different ending for each episode is crazy and really cool. I'll probably go watch it alone. Oh no, Curaden! Oh, if only you lived near me, I'd invite ya. I'd invite you along. Yeah, I'm going with some other friends. I think Kava is seeing it like next week or something like that. So I'll probably go a couple times. And then my one friend can't because she works. And I did tell her if she needs a friend, I will go. I will go. Did you see the Demon Slayer movie? I did. It was really good. I liked it. I didn't know what was going on, but I liked Doma, so I had a great time. I was just there for the vibes. I haven't read the manga. I don't know anything. And all my friends have read the manga, so they were like, they knew what was going on. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. And they're like, you didn't know? And I'm like, nope. Haha, nope. I didn't know any of that was gonna happen. But I haven't read Chainsaw Man manga either, so. But I think that what I'm most excited about is that Angel Devil is gonna be in this movie, and he is my favorite character. He's my Blorbo. Kiridan, remember when I went to SakuraCon and I bought like every Frieren merch I could find? Like, I bought so much Frieren merch. I have these little like pin boards. They're like little hexagon tiles. They kind of look like a beehive kind of thing. In a shape. They're like hexagons. And I think I filled up maybe like 2 of those with Frieren stuff. I have like literally 3+ pin boards of like Angel, Devil, and Aki and Angel and Chainsaw Man stuff. It's crazy how much stuff I have. I have a standee of Angel and Aki. I've got like a bunch of prints and shit that I hung up already. I have so much Angel and Aki merch. Oh, and then Juby, my friend Juby, went to Japan recently and brought back more Angel Devil merch because they have a bunch of pop-ups in Japan right now because of the movie. So I have even more Angel Devil merch. I love Angel Devil. And he's like such a fucking side character. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I didn't even read the manga, so I literally only know him from maybe 1.5 episodes of Chainsaw Man the show. And I have grasped onto him like a weird little koala. Anyway, I feel like I might like that series. Only watch the first couple episodes of Chainsaw Man or Demon Slayer. Disney Gundam Seed Freedom movie. Oh, I didn't know there was a movie in theaters. Anyway, something's happening. I think the guide is here, you guys. Because he didn't have any merch out for the movie yet. No! I wonder if it was too early. I know Juby went to like a pop-up cafe that they were having. But I think it might just be this month. Like, I think it was just in for the month, or maybe like this month and last month. All I know is we were freaking out and we planned everything that she was gonna buy. And she got me this cute little acrylic standee of Angel Devil in like a little varsity jacket, because they had like a bunch of them in casual outfits. It was so cute. It's so cute. Demon Slayer wanted to Chainsaw Man. What the fuck? Dave, watch Chainsaw Man. Watch the show. Watch the anime Chainsaw Man. It's so good. Like, I literally, like, it's so good. I've watched a lot of anime, okay? And Chainsaw Man is just, like, really good. There's a reason why I kept, like, it's still, like, one of my favorite things to, like, cosplay from and talk about and watch. Because it's just really good, and it's so, like, I like JJK, right? Like, I like Jujutsu Kaisen a lot. But, and I like other things. Like, I like Demon Slayer, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all good. But Chainsaw Man is like, it goes, like, deeper. Like, there's just, like, a lot of things that I'm rewatching and I'm like, damn, can you believe this? And then I want to yap about it because it's, like, really deep. Anyway, back to the game. I talk about Chainsaw Man all day long, and Angel Devil is my blorbo. And I have a problem, and it's called I Love Angel Devil. Yeah, it's really good. I like it because it's very much found family. Like, they're like, there's a lot of like stuff that has to do with like friendship in it, which I do love that. I love that. Less so of that in Chainsaw Man, but there's definitely a lot of that in JJK, which is what made me originally really like it, because the main three are cute together, like as friends. Anyway, eventually a small light appears on the bridge ahead. There it is! Gently swaying through the foggy air. It gets closer and closer until it becomes apparent it's a figure carrying a lantern. That must be the guide, although I can't shake the ghostly aura it gives off. The figure steps onto the shore, but we wait for him to approach us instead of going to meet him. None of us are sure how close to the waters we can get before it is no longer safe. Wow, look at his beautiful eyeballs. He stops in front of us and simply stares. Body horror, I think that's why I haven't watched it. Oh, yeah, I guess. I was gonna say, I don't know if there's that much body horror, but like then I'm thinking like every time he turns into a chainsaw, his like arms get all ripped up, and his arm falls off in the second episode, like it gets chopped off. And then I think later him and Power get like fucked up like a million times by this one guy because they can't die. So maybe there actually is. There's a lot of blood, that's for sure. There's so much blood. If you don't like blood, that is not the show for you.
Are you the guide of Sinlos?
The man nods. He has a sharp face and weary eyes.
Well, that's grand. We would like an escort across the lake.
The melee motions to the two of us, and Margaret approaches, a strained smile on her face.
Hello, it's good to see you again. I'm ready to cross, as we've agreed upon.
The guide turns to face her as well, face remaining unchanged. It must not be a lie. He would have had to say something otherwise. He really does have a preference to travel with him. That's a problem.
Is there a way we can all begin the trip tonight?
Yes, I will allow all three of you to go. But with that many, at least one will die before we reach the other side.
Whoa! I furrow my brow. It's a disturbing addendum, and one offered with little emotion attached. Bemele glares back, asking without asking what we're supposed to do with such circumstances.
You should go around.
He can only take one. That's fair. That's fair. Sentence hangs in the air, the second half unspoken. If you want to live.
We don't have time for that. There are people counting on us for protection. Why does she need to go?
He jerks a finger at Margaret, whose face contorts with anger.
I don't need to explain myself to you. My journey has already been put off once, and I was promised I could go today. I will be going under any circumstances.
I will go even if I die. What is your deal? I feel like it's some... I don't like her. She meets Bamele's eyes with a glaze of steel. He starts to speak and she cuts in.
An extra day or two shouldn't be that much of a problem for you. Whoever you're meeting can surely wait such a tiny amount longer. Patience is a virtue after all.
The night is only so long, and if we're still on the bridges when the sun comes up, we'll all die as they sink back below the surface. If you don't decide soon, no one will be going.
The guide is a dispassionate stoic. I would almost feel something's wrong with him if I didn't share the trait myself. Bamele pulls me to the side, jaw clenched tight.
That woman isn't armed.
Dude! We're not gonna kill her. Although I will shove her into the lake. Unbuilt! Get building, bitch! Get building! His voice is low. He darts a glance at Margaret.
We can easily get her to back off if we make this into an actual fight. After all, we have to go tonight, yes? If one of us really is to die, it'll be her. Would staying be a worse fate than her death?
What if you stay behind, Bamele? Or maybe I'll just stay behind and you two can bicker all the way to the other side. I stare at the dock, refusing to meet Bamele's eyes. Try to keep my voice as level as possible. Okay, I need a fucking guide for this. Can I keep everyone alive? What is this? Thanks for the biddies! Every unbuilt... What the hell? Why do you have 39 of them? That's nuts, dude. Is Lake a cozy game? Okay. Major spoilers.
We don't know her situation. This isn't a decision we can make for her.
What?
Bamele leans closer, apparently having missed what I said. I remove the sympathy for her in my response when I speak again.
The guide won't accept something like that, I assume.
His face is grim.
Then what else do you have in mind?
First of all, you and I cannot split up. Either we both stay, or we both go.
Right. That's not a question.
Why can't we split up? I don't get it. Cross my arms, a hand on my chin. I have full confidence in my abilities and in Bamele's, but there's no reason not to believe the guide knows exactly what he's talking about. If we go, he might not be able to give the group attention we deserve. That would mean we truly would be putting Margaret's life at risk on top of our own. Ah, shit.
And I believe you.
I don't like the timed. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think we should go. We should go. We're going with what is on our heart today. We're not gonna worry about it. We're not gonna look up a guide. We're going with what's in our heart. Yeah. And what is in my heart is I love Bamele. Bamele's reply is firm. My steadfastness seems almost weak in comparison to its certainty. He addresses the guide.
We shouldn't waste more time. Let's shove off.
The guide slowly turns around, without even a nod to show his agreement. Margaret stares at Bemele and me, something of a resolve in her gaze, and she follows after the guide. Well, I'll give it to her. She's, very confident. More hearts! Yeah! At least she didn't insist we stay behind.
We should do what we can to protect her. It's our fault she's being put in even further danger.
Exactly my thoughts. We will take care of everything. Maybe I'm being naive, but I have no intentions of letting anyone fall victim to this lake tonight. Those monsters can starve.
Hell yeah, Bemele. You're gonna be the first to die, I bet. I smile at him for a change, and Bemele eagerly smiles back.
We're lucky to have each other in this, I think.
Shut up! Why would you romance anyone else? I like him. He's nice to me. He turns to follow the others across. I will protect everyone on this trip. I will. We will make it through this. I don't think we will. Hey guys, I don't think we will. Ugh, I hate that I hate games where in some cases not saying anything might be a better choice than saying something. I stepped foot on the bridge of Sinlos. As soon as I step into the wood, why is this a maze? Why is even the dock's a maze? Or are we walking? They do have quick time events. That last option, well, there was a timer. Oh, I guess it's not technically a quick time event, I guess. It is a timer, though. As soon as I step onto the wood, the temperature drops. The light of my lamp shines against the water's surface, as reflective as a mirror. Until we reach land again, death is only one small mistake away. We fall into line, with the guide leading the way. Margaret stays close to him and I behind her, watching to make sure she doesn't slip on the slick, wet wood. Bemele brings up the rear. Each of us hold our lanterns in front of us, but it does little good. The fog is thick and nigh impenetrable, consuming the light as if it's hungry for it. Above the surface of the lake, it's deathly quiet. No longer is the whispering wind, nor the sound of water lapping against the shore. It's just our own mismatched footsteps and the sound of my quickened breathing. My eyes drift back to the lake, against my better judgment. No wonder there's not even a sound of water, with how still the surface is. It seems almost sturdy, with the sheen of a black marble floor. I've heard rumors of the water of Sinlos is heavier, more difficult to disturb than in natural water. That just the weight of its oppressive cling is enough to keep someone down, even without them. Something even darker than the abyss of the lake flickers just below the surface. Or at least I think it does. I turn my gaze to Margaret's back. It's better to stay focused.
Fall back a bit. You're following me too closely.
The guide is looking over his shoulder, addressing Margaret.
I'm sorry.
If someone gets pulled into the lake, they'll instinctively reach for anything to hold on to. Do not let that be you.
Margaret's shoulders rise, and then she nods with a great seriousness.
I understand. Thank you for the advice.
He ignores her gratitude.
You can speak amongst yourselves if you so choose, as long as you pay attention to where you're going. There is no worth in listening to the sounds out there. If there's anything at all, it'll only be Nixie trying to set you on edge.
All right. Then, could you tell us your name? You didn't have a chance to properly introduce yourself, and I've only heard you being referred to as the guide.
I don't have a name.
What the fuck? Bro's got no name. He's facing the front again, his voice expressionless as before. I have no way of guessing how he feels as he says this.
Oh.
Probably something he wishes to talk about. Probably not something he wishes to talk about. However, there was something else I wanted to say, so changing the subject is not difficult.
Margaret, thank you for allowing us to join you.
Margaret, thank you for allowing us to join you. Margaret shrugs non-committally.
It wasn't exactly up to me. The guide said he would take you.
She hesitates, and then she looks tentatively over her shoulder at me.
But thank you for saying that. It's appreciated.
Oh, weird. She's being nice. I don't like that.
Bemele and I will do our best to be an asset on this trip, rather than a burden.
That's nice. I'm not afraid to be out here, though. Still, at least with your training, you should be able to take care of yourselves.
Comforting to know that everyone here is so confident in their abilities. Not enough to forget how terrible it feels to be over this lake. Wait, where's the other one? There's another person that's supposed to join us. One of you may die. I'm not sure if that's fortunate or unfortunate. Believing yourself to be secure doesn't mean that you are. As the conversation lulls, a new sound breaks through. It's the whispering noise again. It's the chatter of inhuman voices, and this time coming from all around us.
Taking care of yourself is exactly what you need to do.
Guide is speaking again, except louder, as if to cover the Nixie's voices with his own.
Work to survive at all costs, and hope that everyone around you has enough sense to do the same. That's the only way you'll make it to the other side.
Margaret nods in response, but I hear a grunt from beside me.
Groups tend to go further when they work together to achieve the same goal.
Guy doesn't say anything in response to Bemele's grumbling either. I'm not sure whether he didn't hear Bemele, or whether he just didn't feel the statement made thus far are worthy of addressing. I have a feeling it's the latter. We go around a large bend in the bridge, part of it forking off to another way. I wonder how the guide knows which one of these essentially identical paths is correct, when something in the corner of my eye catches my attention.
I believe I saw something over there.
Keep walking. No need to worry.
Guide's voice is calm and level. I decide against pressing the issue, not wanting to set everyone more on edge.
What did he say?
Perhaps not wanting the conversation to be caught by the guide, he speaks softly, though I couldn't quite hear him because of it. Ah! 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 I don't like that. I don't want to look at the screen. I take my eyes off Margaret Edge for a moment to explain to Bemele and stop dead in my tracks. I love how there's ads right now. I'm scared. Only one word is able to escape me in my stunned state. Behind Bemele stands another figure, looming in the darkness. Seeing my face, Bemele grabs the hilt of his sword. He whips around, then staggers swiftly backwards. Several meters away, a crooked, twisted black figure hobbles its way toward us. Some kind of liquid drips off its head, curling around the edges of its face. It almost looks like it's crying. Melee backs up until he's standing beside me. The figure continues its slow advance, head jerking from one angle to another.
What on earth?
It's one of them.
Yes, Nixie that stumble across the bridges looking for opportunities.
The guide is standing next to us. I didn't even notice him approach.
The ones that can make it out of the water are generally referred to as prowlers.
Prowlers.
I had no idea things like that were out here. Is that what Kika saw down the other path?
Guide says nothing. Instead, returning to the front of the party, Margaret watches him pass. Her frustration morphs into nervous optimism when something seems to come to her mind.
Well, Nixie aren't slowed down much by swords, but at least light keeps them away, right?
Margaret's hand grips her face tight, and desperation bleeds into her voice. I bite the inside of my lip.
Direct light will force it to return to the lake. However, it'll try to drag the light, or you, down with it before it goes.
Instinctively, I reach for the hilt of my sword, despite the fact that it would do little to protect me. Prowler is getting closer, jerking forward, stopping, and then resuming its slow advance.
Okay, does anyone have a light we can leave here? That way it won't follow us.
Why don't you leave yours, Margaret? Margaret! Margaret, I hate you! Hey, she's actually not bad. She's actually not bad. She's fine. She's just as scared as the rest of us.
Only matches.
Ew, I hate it. But Melee spits. He's the one bringing up the rear, so he's the one most likely to be in danger if it keeps following. The guide, however, moves forward.
Don't forget it's there, don't let your guard down, and don't get left behind.
What? How am I supposed to keep walking with this thing at my heels? You said it wants to attack.
Okay, maybe I should take up the rear.
Don't give it the chance.
Bamel sputters in anger. The guide summarily ignores him. I solidly grab a hold of Bamele's upper arm.
Here, I'll lead you like this, and you can keep your focus solely on the Prowler. Make sure it doesn't get too close.
That's smart, Kika! Go, girl! You know what's up, girl. Kika's smart. Bamele eyes the guide with unresolved hostility, but allows himself to softly sigh in relief. He gazes at me with fondness.
At least there's someone I can count on.
Don't be a douche, Bamele. Despite the fact that I'm going against his advice, the guide says nothing more. It's clear now that he doesn't give a damn what we end up doing. Some part of me is glad for that. I want to help everyone make it through, and it would be worse if we have to persuade the guide every time help was necessary.
Kika, thank you.
Melee places a gentle hand on my shoulder. I like him. I don't want him to die, but he might die. I feel Bamele start as I reciprocate his touch. But just as quickly, a smile replaces his shock. Oh, that's not bad. A smile replaces his shock. The moment is pleasant, a small balm against a large burn. I hard my expression and Bamele follows suit. He moves his free arm down. I fully link his arm with mine, and now, properly settled, look forward. Margaret is following the guy with some reluctance, turning back every so often to check on us. I wave my lantern to signal we're catching up. Margaret returns her head to the front and quickens her pace. With a tug on Bamele, we start to follow them. The four of us continue cautiously over the bridge. Only this time the wet, squishing footsteps of the Prowler join the sound of our own. In spite of myself, I grip Bamele tighter. The Prowler walks without a set pattern. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. It takes long steps, then short ones. At times it stops walking entirely. Does it hurt to be out of the water like this? Or is it trying to be difficult to read? Suddenly, the whispering in the lake grows louder. I steel myself, trying not to let it get to me. The most important thing in a situation like this is to remain calm. I can't lose my head. Then all at once, I notice the guide and Margaret have come to a halt.
Bemele, they're stopping.
The melee slows down, as I do, and we near Margaret's back. She says with something akin to distress,
There's another one.
I tug on Bemele and he understands. We drop close to Margaret, ready to protect her if need be, but the guide holds out his hand.
Don't get any closer.
Just over his shoulder, I see another prowler stumbling toward us. White liquid dripping from its eyes. The guy's hand turns over in the air, palm up.
Give me a lantern. We'll throw it.
Margaret ascends her own with a trembling hand when Bemele speaks instead, his back still turned.
If you have to take someone's, take mine.
I don't know what to do, you guys! Oh, goodness. Oh. Fuck. Okay. Let's think this through. They like the light. Or no, they don't like the light. But they might drag somebody with a light down. Well, maybe we should give up Bemele. If we stick close together, it'll be fine, right? I'm so scared. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Whose lantern? Whose lantern did we give? Yuck. This is a stressful game. Good job, Vic. You did it. So proud of you. So proud of you. Oh.
Yes, an extra light won't do us much good when we're standing this close together.
Okay, we don't have to make that choice.
Thank you.
She hands the lantern to the guide, whose hand grips it tightly, knuckles growing pale.
Stay here. I can't throw it too far. The light will blow out before it reaches the Nyx.
He steps closer to the monster. His movements light and confident. As he nears, the prowler starts to back away. It is only the approaching light that makes it retreat. Or are they afraid of him? The guide is far enough away from us that the fog is partially obscuring him, hiding his movements. The voices from the lake grow louder and louder. Water suddenly begins to splash across the lake, in the distance, and onto the edges of the bridge. They want him to mess up. Then suddenly, the guide takes multiple long and fast strides forward, throws the lantern, and jumps backwards to regain the lost distance. There's a sharp hiss, and then a deep splash, and the voices of the Nixie grow quieter. Not silent, but quieter. A sigh escapes me as the guide comes back to our group.
We should keep going before it comes back.
I glance at Bemele and realize he too is looking relieved at the guide before us. Then I see it. Ah! The first power is still there! It's right there! I shift around, pulling Bamele behind me. The Prowler lunges after him, barely missing Bamele, but striking my lantern instead. Fuck! The fire goes out, and the two of us are plunged into an unearthly darkness. I fucked up! I fucked up! Okay. What if we didn't? What if we didn't? Should we try it? Well, should we see what happens?
If you have to
Yes.
Thank you.
Stay here.
Baba baba dooey, baba baba dooey, baba baba dooey. We're not gonna get jump scared.
we should keep going.
Ah! I'm scared. I'm still scared. What do I didn't do anything? He lunges at Bamele, hits his leg, and he goes down, taking me with him. We slam against the bridge, our lantern lights blinking out as it hits the wood. We're engulfed in darkness and fog, and before I can do anything, the Nyx reaches out from the edge and brink that clings to Bamele. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bamele quickly slides near to the edge. Bamele struggles to loosen the monster's long fingers.
No!
Oh god, he's dying yet I can't keep up with the rapid pace. Margaret rushes over to me, bathing me in her lantern's light and scaring away another Nyx at the surface's edge. The Nyx with Bamele likewise dives fully back at the black water, dragging him.
Bamele!
Oh goodness. Okay, no. Oh god damn! Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, never mind. This is fine. Then there's a slick splash. I realize the Nyx has retreated into the water. Somehow, Bamele and I are still standing. We're still here.
Kika, thank you.
I can't respond. Uh-oh! And now I'm gonna die. Ah, shit. Something wet, cold, and slimy has grabbed my ankle. Ah! Get away! I kick my leg out as fast as I can, and the Nyx hold slips. It can't pull with the momentum I've gained against it. Margaret rushes to my side, her lantern hanging out toward the Nyx. The light brushes its face. We see it for an instant, its eyes wide, and then it slides back into the smooth surface of the water. Bamele grabs Margaret and I both, helping us toward the center of the bridge and cussing under his breath.
I only looked away for 1 second.
It's fine, Bamele. We're all fine.
I'm having heart palpitations. We're alive. Listen, I now have a vested interest in both of them because she saved my fucking life. She was a butthole, but I don't hate her anymore. That was scary. That was spooky. I'm so sorry, Vic, for jump scaring you.
Are you actually alright?
Margaret cocks her head down, examining my ankle, but there's nothing but a wet smudge around my trousers.
I am fine.
I say that, though I don't actually want to let go of Bamele. I need to in order to relight our lantern and provide us actual safety, but I feel such a strong desire not to be alone in this moment. I shake my head roughly and let go of him, relighting the lantern as fast as I'm able.
Kika, thank you. Again. You saved my life. I won't let this happen again.
Yes. Yes. It would be good for all of us to pay more attention.
Margaret nods solemnly. Suddenly, it seems like we're all on the same side. It isn't only Bamele and I. She is with us in more than simply presence. Agreed! The guide's voice, as cold as that monster's grasp, ends my train of thought.
We lost the lantern I threw. The Nyx grabbed it after the light went out.
Margaret makes a noise. I glance over, wondering why she's upset, but there's a small smile on her face instead.
It's better than them taking anything else.
A nervous laugh bubbles up out of me, and just as quickly stops. Bamele chuckles in response, and our collective tension eases up, the adrenaline draining from our bodies.
We need to keep walking.
The guide starts down the bridge again and we join him. I try to clamp down on the relief, the ease that wants to flood my head. Not over. Prowler is gone, but so is Bemele's lantern.
You can stay near me, Bemele, since your lantern is lost.
I appreciate it.
Margaret goes ahead of us. Bemele stays by my side as I keep the end of the line. The breath of release for Margaret and Bemele is quickly swallowed by the somber atmosphere of the Sinless as well, replaced by the gravity of the near-death experience. Never mind celebrating his survival, something like that shouldn't have happened in the first place. The memory of the Prowlers reaching out toward us appears each time I close my eyes.
Why does it look like something's dripping down their faces?
Prowlers are on Margaret's mind too. Looking at her pained expression, it's as though the moment of relief has never existed at all.
I'm not sure.
Me neither. Something's wrong with them, though. They live in water. Air shouldn't be good for the things, but they want to drown humans so much they're willing to drag themselves around on land? It's not right.
Oh, Bemele, you're kind of a himbo, and I love that for you. Of course it isn't. They're monsters. They likely do not understand even the concept of right and wrong.
Well, I don't disagree that there's something very wrong about them. I truly hope that's the last we'll see of the Prowlers.
Something comes to her mind, causing Margaret to end her part of the conversation early.
Since you two have to share a light, wouldn't it be safer to be in the middle?
Girl, you're gonna be in the back? Margaret stops and waits for Bemele and I to reach her position.
That way, you'll catch the edges of my light and the guides, and it won't be so dangerous if Bemele loses his position momentarily.
That's a very kind offer, Margaret.
Bemele's surprise is so apparent, I want to cover his face with my hands to stop him from insulting her. She merely smirks. I think Margaret may be surprised with herself too. Bemele returns to his usual surety.
As thoughtful as it is, I, at least, am fine with bringing up the rear. I'm used to keeping watch for monsters, and since there are two of us, I can pay attention to the back while Kika focuses ahead. It's not my light, though, so I shouldn't be the one to decide what she should do with it.
Margaret and Bemele turn to look at me in unison. Seems like it's my decision. I feel like we should just keep saying how it is. And Bemele better not fuck up again, or he gonna die. Neither of them are wrong. As for me, my goal is to protect everyone. Can't very well do that with Margaret following behind us. But being stuck in the middle of the group could also be dangerous, depending on what circumstances we come across. Getting pincered by the enemy would be almost sure death, no matter how experienced Bemele and I are. Just don't know what to expect from this bridge, and that makes things so much more difficult. Let's do this.
So you're staying behind?
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yes, I think we'll be good here. But really, thank you. That was a very kind offer.
Well, alright.
Margaret respects our decision and drops the head bit to catch up with the guide. He who has paid no mind to the entire affair. Hi, Bemele, what's on your mind?
So, I don't want to sound like a child, but how much longer until we arrive at the halfway point?
Margaret chuckles, reflecting on the amusement I didn't want to vocalize.
We still have some ways to go.
Damn.
I suppress my laughter yet again at his pouting response. The gloom we've been under dissipates slightly, like light flickering through the fog. Aww, he's bringing some light.
The first trial tends to be the most difficult. I believe we will only react better from this point on. Where's
the other person? I It's just like, is it DLC? Let's see. There's no DLC. So that person's gonna come in soon.
I like the way you think.
Then a gleam enters Bameli's eyes and he grins.
I think Kika deserves a round of applause. Her quick reflexes are owed the utmost appreciation.
He leans softly into my shoulder, trying to get me to what?
It was indeed a sight. You're quite capable. Bemele was also a sight, but for very different reasons. The way he froze with his mouth all agape was a laugh in itself.
Margaret! Okay, girl, I like you. Okay, girl. I hope you survive this, but you'll probably die. But I hope you survive this because I feel like we can share some hot goss about how silly Bamele is over some tea. Bamele shakes a fist at Margaret in mock anger and then shoots me an affectionate look.
You should know, she and I are usually on equal footing.
The only reason you had footing at all is because she pulled you back.
Bamele laughs self-consciously, scratching his head.
That's very true. You can always count on Kika.
I keep my eyes steadily ahead, unsure how I should respond. I'm pleased, almost grateful to hear what they think of me, but I don't know what I could say that wouldn't seem pathetic. Instead, I contribute in the best way I can. I keep my focus on the path ahead of us. Without a response from me, the conversation quickly dies out. What the fuck, Kika? Be more social. Still, it eases my heart to be on such friendly terms with my companions. After some time, I notice Margaret isn't keeping up with the guide as much as she was before. I realize it's because the guide has increased his pace. Margaret begins to jog in an effort to keep up with him, and Bamele and I do the same. Despite this, the guide keeps getting further away. Oh, we go faster and faster until suddenly we're full-on sprinting across the slick wooden boards. Figures in the dark fog fly past us as a blur, and it occurs to me that branching paths in the bridge appear to be sinking. I tried hard to swallow my rising panic. The guide shouts something, but it's drowned out by the frantic pounding of our footsteps. I'm trying to piece together what he said. Don't stop, turn? When he takes a massively sharp right down a different path using his own momentum and the sleek wood to slide into the new direction with no loss of speed. Margaret must not have worked out the warning as she is completely caught off guard. She runs straight ahead past the turn and continues on the path we've been following. She begins to halt her momentum down the wrong bridge. Ah, shit, Margaret. Then I come upon the fork. Ah, shit, Margaret. Ah, shit, Margaret. Margaret! Ah, shit, Margaret! No! They did this on fucking purpose. Turn! I make a hard turn following the guide and leave Margaret at the rear. Bamele's footsteps stay loud as they were before. He's made the turn as close behind as ever. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Margaret turn around and try to come back to us, only to have the bridge in front of her fall away. I slow down for a breath, feeling the impulse to turn back, but ignore it. There's no time. Margaret can make the jump, and then she'll rejoin us. I keep my eyes glued to the guide's back, ears perked for Margaret's footsteps approaching behind us. And then I hear it. A scream. I whip around, sliding to a stop. Margaret is sinking. The bridge she's on is sinking into the water. She's disappearing. She didn't jump.
What are you doing?
Margaret's head shoots up, her face drained of all color.
Jump!
She stumbles near the edge of the bridge, staring at the placid water of the lake. Even from a distance, I can see her shaking. I can't say if it's from the bridge or her own fear. She barely seems to remain standing. I swallow painfully. Margaret bends and tries to jump. She curves in a small arc, achieving more height than she should, and lands directly in the lake. Oh. I really want to save everyone. Ah! Okay, we're gonna try. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna turn. I hope I don't die. I keep straight ahead, not making an attempt to go the correct direction, but Melee seems to fumble slightly, but stays close behind me, and in the light, I inwardly apologize. I come upon Margaret, who nearly runs into me with her efforts to turn around. Her face twists at the sight.
Why are you...
Ignore her, and I move to face the other way. The path we came from is disappearing into the water. It's sinking.
We have to jump.
What?
Jump, you idiot! Margaret holds up her hands, but I grab her and spin her toward the path the guide is on.
Go! We'll catch up.
But...
Bemele and I will have to jump together. He needs the light. Just move.
I practically shove her, and without further hesitation, she takes the leap. She makes it just past the edge of the bridge, knees buckling as she lands. But it is soon back up on her feet, holding her lantern out toward me. She beams with pride. Motion Margaret toward the guide. She understands the gesture, though hesitates, obvious conflict in her eyes.
Here.
I offer Bemele my hand and tightening my grip on the lantern. Bemele accepts the offer, giving a brief squeeze. A tight smile plasters itself across my face as I try to calculate the distance between our bridge and the other. Then the ground starts to shake. We dash through the bridge's edge and leap. Cold air rushes past my face, winding its fingers into my hair. For an instant, I think I see something moving under the surface of the water. Then we land hard on the wooden bridge. Bemele lets out a sigh of relief as we both creakily get fully back on our feet. He gently runs a thumb over the top of my hand before he releases it. There's a clear sense of affection to it.
Stay close. We need to run.
I'll be right behind you.
Run, Bemele! I take off, not bothering to ensure Bemele is staying true to his word. I know he'll follow. The guide's fading light bounces in the distance, a clear signal that he's still running. I focus everything I have on catching up. Slowly, we begin to close the distance. As the night wears on, our strength rapidly fades. Even my stamina is being challenged. I can't imagine what this might be like for Margaret. She's holding her side as she runs, clearly cramping from the exercise. How much longer will this last? People have to rest sometime. Almost as if in response to my thought, the guide abruptly halts. I skid to a stop as well, sliding on the surface of the wood. Bemele, you're alive. Bemele's voice is tired, but his guard is up. The guide doesn't answer, just stares at something slightly out of view. That was scary, you guys. I step up to join him, following his gaze further down the path. A child! It's not a child, it's the other romanceable NPC. There, curled up in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, cowers a person. His hands grip his head, and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently.
It's a man.
It's a man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Please. I'm sorry.
Struck with an array of questions. What's going on? Why would he wander out into these bridges on his own? Did he make it this far by himself? Were there others with him? If that's somehow the case, I can't blame him for the state of shock he's in. The man stops mumbling, glances above him, seemingly only just now having the strength to lift his head. His expression, the deepest sadness, along with the clear markings of terror, are scrawled across his face. I stare at him in shock, not sure what to do.
Leave him.
I snap my eyes away from the man and instead to the guide's cold, implacable face. Implaceable? Implacable?
No! We can't just leave him here. We've managed fine enough already, and these creatures will probably pluck him away as soon as we've gone. Without light, it's certain he'll die.
He won't make it regardless.
Wow. The guide turns to look at us, his eyes seeming to glow from the closeness of his lantern. For the first time, I feel uncomfortable in his presence.
Whoever shelters him will only risk dragging themselves down with him. Leave him.
I'm too nice, you guys. Ugh. Too nice. Dude, I don't know. I think he comes along anyways, bruh. Game gives me the anxiety. I glance at the others, but Melee is outraged. But Margaret is staring at the man with something like fear. She's uneasy, but she doesn't voice her concerns. I'm trying to think of some kind of compromise when the guide speaks again, his voice cutting.
If the man comes, then whoever is shielding him will have to remain at a distance from the rest of the group. Far enough that you can't see me, just my light. That is how you will travel across the bridges.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't agree to lead this man, and I won't. If you ask me to, I will leave you all behind.
Oh man, I didn't know this was anxiety inducer, the game. Jesus. Jesus. I'm too nice, you guys. I want to save him. But if I save him, the guide's gonna be mad at me. Adrenaline surges through my veins and I tense up. It's a painful reminder that the guide isn't here to save our lives, but merely to show us the way. We're on our own. Margaret, Bimeli, and I frantically share more looks between each other, trying to communicate without words. None of us have a desire to speak and be the first one to make a choice. The man is standing now, though still hunched with his arms wrapped around himself, as if expecting a blow. He stares at the ground rather than at us. Because of this, I'm having trouble reading his face. What exactly happened to him?
Are you well, stranger? Do you know where you are and why you're here?
Glances up, not at me, but toward me. His eyes resting somewhere near my collarbone.
I'm fine. You all can go on your way. Forget you even saw me here.
That's absurd. You have no way to defend yourself. We can't leave you.
Yes, I'm sure in your eyes I might not seem like much, but that's not exactly a fair shake. Maybe in a perfect world, every man would be as large as you. But that's not how things always go. It doesn't mean I'm defenseless.
The man's response is meandering. The words themselves seem to be in good jest, but he's still barely looking at us, fidgeting with his hands. Bimeli frowns, unimpressed.
It was a joke.
He smiles hesitantly, making eye contact with each of us for the first time.
What part of it was supposed to be the joke? Do you even realize what is happening in this moment?
Never mind. Forget that too. Point is, I'm alright.
Are you sure? Because you were just like cowering on the ground.
You were curled up in a ball when we
Thank you,
met.
Margaret. See, this is why we love Margaret, okay? I've changed my tune about Margaret. She's the best bitch. We are getting tea after this. We are gonna be besties.
Exactly. Something must be wrong with you.
Oh no, sounds like you've been talking with my father.
What the fuck? What is your deal, bro? Let's had a weak little laugh, coupled with an eyebrow raise, voice trembling. No one really knows what to make of this. The man gives a small wave and begins down the path we came. But Melee huffs, tossing his hands into the air.
That's not even the right way.
It could be, if he's trying to get to the side we came from.
He must have come quite a ways if it was the other shore that he started on.
Man's smile grows.
Good. That's not so bad.
There's no response to his remark. Unsure of what could be said.
I still think he should come with us. A person needs a light, and the guide himself said he won't be able to manage on his own. Sticking with us is his best option.
But Melee, I want to trust you, my darling, but you are a himbo. And I don't know. Honestly, I like this kid, but I'm like fine with just leaving him behind. And like, I don't know. I don't know. I look over at the man's body, noticing the scrawniness of his limbs. Scrawny, but not necessarily lacking in muscle. The bravado he was showing as he tried to leave us has faded yet again, and now he's standing quietly looking at us as if watching a play. Interest, but no true connection to the events.
It's easy for you to say such things, but whose light are you offering?
That's true, it's my night.
It's not mine, and you are putting her in even more danger with your own presence already.
Melee looks at Margaret. She avoids his gaze.
Perhaps I could have let him share my light before, but the guide has said the one with him has to remain behind, and I simply wouldn't be able to manage it.
Melee's hands turn into fists. He looks away, but doesn't say anything. For a moment, no one does. I feel a cold sweat on my brow as what I feared has come to pass. He's stopping us from protecting another. Why must he get involved now? Why can he not leave us to make our own decisions?
You... Don't worry about me. I'll be on my way now.
Man's voice is full of something I cannot place, and he starts to shuffle back down the way he came, arms still clenched around himself. Margaret might not be able to take him, but there's another way this could be solved. I could stay back with him. It'll put Bameli and myself at significantly more risk, but at least this man will stand a chance. Fuck! Oops. Okay. Hey. Hey. What do you guys think? What does chat think? Hey chat. There's like a couple of you in there. I know you're there. Should we save this little twink who's clearly fucked up and sad? Or should we let him go and follow the guide's instructions? The guide is a romanceable character, I think. I don't really understand how, because he's kind of a douche. Well, I guess he's not a douche. He's just very like, meh. Ugh. Cute. Alright, well, the people in the comments, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like with Bameli on this run, and I feel like he really wants to save this guy, but like, I don't know. I think me and my girl and the guide and Bameli, we've been doing this alright. Maybe next time we can save him. I was reading some of the comments, the reviews and stuff that people left on Steam. And they're like, yeah, it says you can't save anybody and like they mean it. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, but like what if we use him as fodder so that Margaret and Bameli and I can make it back safely? That's so mean. Ugh. Alright. If we let him go, we have to save Margaret and Bameli. We had to let him go. We've only barely been surviving so far. Well, good luck. Good luck. The space the man vanished into is dark and silent. We can see and hear nothing of him, not even his footsteps.
Maybe we should call him back? We can at least give him directions. Tell him what paths we've been taking.
It's not going to make any difference. We can't give directions when the bridges we were on might very well have sunken away.
We shouldn't focus on what might become of him. He has his own path to follow.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Of course, it's not really a might. But we have to get through this somehow, and being weighed down with guilt will only distract us. The guide starts moving again at a quick pace. After a moment's hesitation, and one last glance in the truly lifeless fog, we run to catch up to him. We walk onward in silence. Our party hasn't changed, but the stranger was never added to it, so it's not as if it makes sense to miss him, but there's a sense of loss all the same. No one even attempts mirth. Though Bameli constantly looks to want to reach out toward my empty hand, always thinking better of it before doing so. Aww. The romance in this is cute. It's like slow, right? It's just like small things. I keep thinking I should have done more. Should have pushed the guide harder to change his mind so it was less dangerous to keep the man around. Something. Anything. Ah, you guys, I feel guilty! Was this the right choice? I want to live. Honestly, though, like, I kind of want to romance Bameli, and if I wanted to romance that guy, I would have, but he's kind of lame. Kind of lame. But I have to let this go. I'm not going to forget that man. I'll never forget him. We still need to get through this. I curl my hands into fists, hoping it'll strengthen my resolve. Then I push forward. We turn down a different path, and the guide stops. Oh! Ahead of us stands a group of prowlers. At the sound of us, they turn their heads in unison as if they knew we were coming. I inhale.
Not again.
Prowlers wriggle somehow, their skin moving more slowly than it should, sliding across their skeletons. They laugh.
We already lost a lantern and it's only our first day. We can't keep doing this.
Yes, we can't lose a lantern at this point. We're almost to the island.
The guide rummages through his coat with a free hand.
What are you planning?
Bimele's tone is borderline threatening, but the guide ignores him. He pulls out a small pouch and then opens a latch on his lantern.
Wait, are you going to throw that at them? What if the bridge sets on fire?
Bimele, shut the fuck up. I love you, but shut up, dude.
It will. We're going to run.
Okay, we're gonna set the bridge on fire.
This is insane! These bridges are hellish enough without them also being on fire. And what about the other man? If he's still out there, this could...
He's dead. We're not losing another lantern.
Damn. He says it with such detached certainty. It's as if he saw it happen himself. No one argues with him. The guide steps closer to the prowlers. We fall and step behind him, staying close to his back. He bends his lantern back down until it's lowered to his outstretched arm. The pouch in his hand is set aflame. With a practiced flick of the wrist, he swings the staff back and up. The glass on the lantern snaps closed.
Don't get left behind.
Alright, Mr. Fancy Man. He takes 3 quick steps, then tosses the pouch. The prowlers are back in the water before the pouch even lands. As soon as it does, the fire starts to lick and curl itself around the wood. The guide breaks into a sprint, and so do the rest of us. The blaze grows despite the heavy dampness from the lake. These bridges aren't normal bridges. Of course that's true. Nothing here is right. Hopefully they won't collapse with the flames. We stay on the guide's heels, almost too close for comfort. If he stops abruptly, we'll all crash into one another, maybe even fall off the bridge. Then the world tilts. I was mid-stride. When I put my foot down, the bridge wasn't where it was. It lurches to one side, either because it was weakened or pushed. Bimele and I managed to keep our ground, but Margaret falls to the ground! Margaret! Not again, Margaret! Oh, God, Margaret, I can't keep saving your fucking ass! Girl, you've gotta get it together. You are so wimpy. At least I thought that's what happens. She starts pawing at the bridge. Ow. I didn't even know she had glasses. My glasses fell off. I can't see. The guide, having regained his balance, presses on. He does not even bother to look at her. Bimele and I run to Margaret, scanning the bridge, but there's no sign of her glasses. Flames are growing thicker and closer, the heat life-sucking. Close enough to nip at her heels, I grab Margaret's arm.
Your glasses aren't here anymore. We have to go or we'll lose the guide.
Margaret squints up at me, face paler than ever. She nods and stands. And we start after the guide again. Really poppy. Can't even see anymore. As our storm of feet thunder across the boards, a silver sliver begins to rise into view just above the edge of the water.
It's the island.
I see it. The island. I squint and suddenly make out craggy forms of land and earth. I see it. We're almost there. Safety, at long last, in sight. New energy surges through me. We push ourselves faster, longing to put those godforsaken bridges behind our backs. All at once, the bridge ends, and our entire group rushes ashore. Earth, solid earth, a haven from the water. I catch my breath while still moving even further away from the dark shoreline. Can't believe we actually made it. Even more difficult is the idea that we're only halfway done. Christ. When night falls once more, we'll have to do it all again. Why can't we go in the daytime? A heavy arm falls across my shoulders, and I straighten to see Bimele smiling wearily at me.
Good work out there.
Thanks, Bimele. Not the usual commendation of a job well done. There's sadness, perhaps even sympathy, in the sentence. It ends flatly. With a sigh, he leans his head to the side, having it rest slightly against mine. Usually, Bimele's comfort and good nature gives me at least the urge to smile, but right now it feels like a hollow victory. He moves to face Margaret, who's squinting at the surrounding area.
Good work out there.
His statement is more energetic. He's not willing enough to show a lack of confidence in front of her. Margaret smiles slightly.
How are you doing without your glasses?
Oh, I'll manage. I have to, after all. I'm not completely blind, thankfully, so I can muddle my way through.
There isn't anything much to see out on those bridges. As long as you stay away from the edge, you should be as safe as you were before.
That's true. It will be fine.
And then the guide is there. He moves so smoothly that his steps on the soft sand are nearly silent, and his dusky clothes blend with the thinning of the night.
The sun will rise soon. The fire on the bridge is the only reason this island isn't overrun with prowlers right now. However, they could still pose a threat.
Is that why you decided to set the bridges on fire? To make the island safer?
Guide looks at Margaret. For what I suddenly realize might be the only the second or third time all night.
Setting the bridges alight isn't an uncommon strategy. It has many uses.
He walks away, Margaret frowning at his retreating form. Come. Guide takes us to an area a bit further inland, but not too far from the water. Trees partially obscure our location, and there's enough room to watch the coast case prowlers start to emerge from the water. Essentially, it's a place where an ambush would be hard.
If any of you see anything at all, speak up. We don't want them to sneak up on us.
Almost automatically, each member of the group turns into a different direction. For a brief second, I feel a flicker of pride. This night may have been awash with misery, but we're still here for each other. As the sky continues to fade from pale purple to a muted blue, the water stays silent. For the first time, nothing happens. It's a miracle. Suddenly, my chest is lighter and the air is fresher. The first pricks of light appear over the horizon, stinging my eyes after such a long journey through darkness. A sound catches my attention and I move my focus toward its direction. The guide is opening a latch on his lantern again. He gently, almost respectfully, blows out the light.
We no longer have to worry about the Nixie. It is over for today.
Why do we have to move at night? Just go in the daytime. I'm almost unable to keep tears of relief from pouring out at those words. We made it through the night. We survived. Woo-woo! Woo-woo! No one feels the need to speak. We look at each other and an understanding passes between us. Then we find our own space, as comfortable as we can get, and lie down for the rest we weren't sure we would ever come. My eyes slowly blink open to readjust to the brightness. What little there is. The sun is obscured by a thick layer of fog, making it impossible to estimate the time of day. I prop up my elbows and push myself up. The ground is hard and rocky, but that isn't the only reason I'm eager to get on my feet. Check my surroundings. The harsh, craggy earth of the island is interlaced with twisting vines and gnarled branches. Beside me, Bemele and Margaret are still fast asleep. The guide, however, is nowhere to be seen. I realize that I don't recall seeing him lay down with everyone. Likely he left us hours ago. There's a creeping silence here. Can't help but shudder at the hollow, aching feeling inside of me. It refuses to relent. I shift my weight back and forth, unsure of what to do with myself. Memories of last night's harrowing journey flicker through my mind. Molly wakes suddenly, rising with alarm, and startling Margaret awake as well. My mouth opens and then shuts. After a moment of fumbling, a word finally escapes. Hello. Amele comes over with a gentle smile, and Margaret follows suit.
Morning.
Is it even morning anymore?
Margaret tries to speak lightheartedly, however, it doesn't do much to improve the mood. A pocket of quiet descends over us.
We should eat something soon. Margaret, do you have enough supplies?
Yes, I think I'll be alright with what I have.
That's a relief. The two of us have plenty of rations, though, so if you need anything, you can always ask.
Margaret sighs and presses her fingers to her temples, acting as if she's fed up with us.
You know, the two of you need to stop looking out for everyone else so much.
Bemele winces at the statement, without vocalizing what's on his mind. Margaret and I share a glance. This is about the person we left behind yesterday. The person we didn't help. Okay, listen! I don't know who that guy is.
I'm I'm sorry. I didn't intend.
It's not your fault.
Goes quiet between us once more. Hey. A distinct rustling of the leaves catches my attention. The guide appears, emerging from the thicket. Margaret appears to be a little uncomfortable at his return, but Molly glares at him as he makes his way over.
The Nixie will not tread on land in daylight. However, being near the shoreline is still dangerous. If you leave the center of the island, remain cautious. Before the sun sets, I will be in this area. It would be wise to meet me here before nightfall.
Why did we have to leave him behind?
I sharply turn towards Mamele, and he snarls and confronts the guide.
If you would just let him follow behind us, he would be alive.
Guide looks away, seemingly unaffected.
If all you're going to do is leave everyone to be lost, then why bother guiding us at all?
A good question. Despite Mamele's severe words, the guide apparently considers his piece here finished and he fucking leaves. He fucking leaves! Bruh!
Wait,
Mamele calls out to the guide, reaching toward him. Before he can make contact, I quickly place a hand on his shoulder. He lowers his arm to his side, though I can still feel wrath emanating from him. We stay this way until the guide disappears from view. Mamele begins to kick at the ground, spraying tiny pieces of gravel about.
Bamele, I know you're angry, but regardless of our feelings, we need the guide. If he leaves us, we'll all die.
and we've done so well with him.
I give him a cold glance. We won't even know which bridge to take without the guide, but Melly knows that. This needs to stop. There are people counting on us to make it back. And what of Margaret?
We can't afford to lose our way.
Anger etched into his expression fades into sadness.
You're right, Kika. You're right.
He weakly swats his hand in front of his face, as if he's trying to shoo away his racing thoughts.
I can't stay here right now.
I nod, allowing him to leave alone. Beside me, Margaret releases a sigh.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not. Nothing is all right. It will never get any better.
Okay, Margaret, you gotta buck up, girly pop. Margaret sucks in a breath as she starts to get emotional. I'm also a psychiatrist. Not only am I holding this fucking group together by little tiny strings, I am also having to be the voice of reason. Before it can spill out of her, she turns on her heels and walks off in a direction different than the guide's. Quietly I speak. Oh shit. Well, I should probably go see Bamele. Oh, Margaret was so sad. What if I be alone? I look at the ground until I no longer hear the footsteps of the others. Oh. Suffered in silence. Jesus. Seems as though my wish to be alone will be granted. There's no sign that they will be returning. A cold chill somehow whips its way down my back, despite the calm of the air. I keep my gaze on the dark ground, taking a breath so deep it stings the back of my throat. As I steadily empty my lungs, I try to empty my mind of all thoughts. I do not know what I'm doing anymore. Nothing is straightforward. I find something familiar and powerful in my thoughts and lash on. The mission. I have to try and focus on the mission, and I need to be strong. My eyes dart back up. Is someone watching? I wonder if I'm afraid of being seen struggling like this, or if I hope I may not be on my own here. Doesn't matter. There's still nothing but the silent island. Whoa. I cannot bear to even think old pond water. Is that it? Oh, the inner stand of trees briefly catch sight of the guide standing on one of the beaches. Seems fine. But even though I'm sure he turned his head toward me, he makes no show of acknowledging me. Can I go talk to him? I continue my check without heeding that. They're moving on, I find Bamele. Alright, I don't want to be alone, actually. Okay, I don't want to be alone. Lingering for only a moment, I start following the trail Bamele took. It doesn't take him long to notice I'm there, and he slows his pace so I can easily catch up. We fall into step for a short while, neither of us speaking. Eventually, we come to a thick stand of trees and wordlessly weave our way through the branches. Once we're hidden by the foliage, Bamele leans against a tree trunk, head hung low. Negativity radiates off of him, but I don't know what I should say. Fortunately, he breaks the silence.
I apologize for back there.
I nod firmly. His reply isn't unexpected. For as long as I've known Bamele, he has a tendency to let his temper flare and then regret it later, after processing his thoughts.
I know that dealing with these sorts of situations calmly is part of the job, but I cannot tell myself everything is fine or that none of it matters. Sure, I can feel something without it being anger, but I've not figured that out either.
We don't really like a man who's quick to eat. Rather than speak, I try to listen as supportively as I can while Bamele continues to argue with himself. He sighs while pensively rubbing the bridge of his nose.
Am I simply being foolish? Would it really have been so harmful to try and help someone else instead of focusing solely on oneself? It looks to me like we're telling ourselves these lines to avoid responsibility.
Oh, Bamele, have I ruined you by not bringing this kid with us? Sorry, guy.
I don't know. It's possible you helping would have worked better. It's also possible it would have been worse.
Bamele stares across the empty waters of Sinlos.
I want it to be clear that I have not forgotten that those people across this lake are depending upon us. Not for a moment. But would they want us to be so focused on them that we should turn a blind eye to others right in front of us?
You're right, Bamele! I feel sad about it too! We can cry together!
Even if they would, does that matter? We are more than weapons. We are people. Do we have to cast that aside? Turn away
You're
from
so
our fellow
right, Bamele. You're so right. I
just
should
to
have
achieve
saved
the
him.
so-called greater good?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
It is not as though this village is a haven of saints. They are only as worthwhile as we are, and these people on the bridges with us. Aren't they?
Yes.
I don't know.
I can feel the weight of his words settle upon me. I had similar thoughts and have questioned what the correct choice is, but unlike Bamele, I've always been silent. I clench my fists tight to try and stop from saying something rash. Bamele closes his eyes tight and rubs his face again. It's clear this hasn't been enough to give him much peace. Eventually his eyes reopen and look directly into mine.
What do you think about all this, Kika? Please, be honest with me. I want to hear it.
Suddenly my eyes are hot. My vision blurs slightly from tears I'm desperately trying to hold back. No, me too! Me too, Kika! Why am I getting emotional?
I really don't know. That is the truth.
Words are soft, whether he heard or not. Look on my face is enough to garner attention. His eyebrows shoot up in a surprise. What? How? Hold on. Un momento.
Kika, what is troubling you?
I don't have the answers to what you are wondering. Who are we meant to protect? Everyone we can? Whoever we're told to serve and no one else? Just ourselves? Should we only try to protect others when the risk is minimal?
Kika, what is troubling you?
And I've been talking, and my mic has been muted. Anyways, hi.
I don't have the answers to what you are wondering. Who are we meant to protect?
Where'd the audio go? Whoop. Oh, is it my headphone? It is. Oh. God damn. Okay, this is... Oh, yeah, they're not horribly broken, but they definitely are fucking broken.
Kika, what is troubling you?
I don't have the answers to what you are wondering. Who are we meant to protect? Everyone we can? Whoever we're told to serve and no one else? Just ourselves? Should we only try to protect others when the risk is minimal? I have no idea what the right option is.
Melee's confusion only mounts with my words.
I am sorry for disappointing you.
Oh.
No, you haven't disappointed me in any way. I never should have expected someone else to give me answers to those kinds of questions. It is only... I did not think that...
He does not finish his thought, but I know what he meant to say.
You did not think I was concerned with these issues?
Smiles awkwardly over being caught.
Yes. You never seemed to be bothered by anything we experienced before now.
His words, my carefully held resolve crumbles. In an instant, my cheeks are wet with hot fluid cooling in the chill air as it slips on my face.
I have always cared. I've always been afraid and confused, but I have kept up a...
I stop and gasp for air, my throat almost as tight as when we were running on the bridges.
a farce of strength in order to get by.
Breathe deeply with relief, terrified and lightheaded from my confession. Melee's voice is delicate as flower petals.
I had no idea. How could I not have noticed?
Because I did whatever I could to make sure no one did. I have never wished to appear weak in front of others. But the truth is, I barely get through each day. I often feel overwhelmed with sadness at all that we have experienced.
Damn! Melee gently places his hands on my shoulders as I try not to sob wildly.
Kika, I truly apologize for all the thoughtless things I have said to you.
I shake my head, sniffling.
There is no need for you to apologize.
He smiles, the warmth almost enough to make me forget the damp.
I beg to differ. I have failed to treat you right.
You have always been respectful.
A person needs more than respect from their comrades. They also need support. I have never given you that kind of consideration because I believed someone like you did not need it.
Aww.
The same could be said for me.
Nonsense. You have listened to my rambling on more occasions than I can remember. Though I admit my memories may not be there due to being drunk many of those times.
It's canon that Bamele gets drunk and then comes to Kika's house in the middle of the night and just rambles about his feelings. That's cute. They've been friends for a while. I love that. Melee laughs at himself while glancing in my direction to encourage me to do the same. His comforting words make me smile, and I feel my tears finally cease to fall. I will continue to support you. He grins wider than he has since we began this horrible journey.
You have my thanks.
And you have mine.
Abruptly, his expression becomes serious once more.
I will come to answer these questions someday. But no matter what I decide, I will still put trust in your judgment.
I may not live up to the belief he seems to have in me, but I nod firmly. He returns my nod.
Perhaps we should go check how everything is on the island.
That sounds like an excellent idea. And I will accompany you, of course.
Glad to hear it.
Together we walk back toward the interior of the island. Both our moods lift as we stay side by side. Melly and I head through the wooded part of the island. There isn't anything that could be called a path, but we manage to pick our way through the brush quite well. Through a thinner strand of trees, we briefly catch sight of the guide standing on one of the beaches. He seems fine, but even though I'm sure he turned his head toward me, he makes no show of acknowledging us. Continuing on, Bemeli and I cross the island in search of Margaret. Out of nowhere, a shudder runs down my spine. I barely stop myself from checking behind me. Darkness flickers through my mind, and I hold my breath. A pat on my back brings me back to the light, a reminder that I'm not alone. I look up to see Bemele. It's touch more comforting than words could be. Suddenly, I know I do not need to hide my emotions. There's no reason to act as though nothing is wrong when it is. Bemele already knows. I've hidden my emotions for so long that it's still my first instinct, but somehow I sense an assurance from him. Bemele will be there to remind me that it's okay, and to support me when I feel I might break from the weight of our experiences. I give Bemele a hesitant glance. He notices and returns my gaze, staring into my eyes. I feel the words spill out from my mouth before I realize what I'm saying.
Would you like to take a walk with me?
Love could blossom even in the most horrible situations. I take a moment to part some brush out of my path before explaining myself.
We could pass around the edges of the forest where there's less in the way. There doesn't need to be a purpose to the walk. It only needs to be a way to spend time together.
We're gonna go on a little island date.
I would prefer that to not doing anything.
I would be delighted to accompany you, Kika.
Okay, Bemele. I'm gladdened by his response, though it only makes me feel all the sillier for suggesting it.
Perhaps it may be better not to after all. We'll be walking all throughout the night.
I believe I've spent quite enough time resting. If I'm being honest, I think I need a break from all this waiting around.
My lips curl into a smile.
All right. We'll do that then.
We should speak to Margaret.
Of course. That's our first priority.
Thank you, Bemele.
Yay! Bemele moves a little closer to me.
I'm happy to.
Not sure if we'll be much help, but there is no way I'm leaving Margaret all alone here for longer. She may want someone to talk to. It takes longer than I'd hoped to track her through the brambles, but we find her in a decent enough time. Margaret begrudgingly lifts her head as we approach, enabling me to see that her face is damp and tear-stained, while her eyes are red and puffy. She's been crying. I shift uncomfortably on my feet.
Is something the matter?
Margaret releases a humorless laugh.
I take it the guards are doing their rounds.
Bemele and I each steal a glance at one another. Bemele lightly chuckles.
It seems we are. Old habits die hard.
Well, that's nice.
Speaks somewhat curtly, but at least she's no longer depressed.
I'm happy to report that everything's in order on this front.
Good to hear that.
Margaret isn't saying what's actually on her mind, but I have no way to reach her.
Is that everything?
Bemele scratches his chin.
We can leave you for now if that's what you'd like. Wouldn't want to be a nuisance.
That would be most appreciated. I'd like to have a little time to myself before we return back out there.
We'll be around if anything comes up.
Thank you for that and for stopping by.
I smile at her, but Molly gives a wave.
Be well.
Goodbye.
Okay. We must leave Margaret, as per her request. I swallow thickly as we go. I can only hope Margaret will be able to sort through her thoughts before it's too late. Molly lightly squeezes my hand, gathering my attention.
So, would you still be interested in our little stroll?
Yes. That would be nice.
Bemele beams at me.
We'd best be heading out then.
Bemele pointedly tightens his grip on my hand, despite already holding my attention. I return his squeeze. A bashful expression washes over him, though it's not enough to make him let go. We reach the edge where the shore meets the forest and trek along it. Bemele makes small talk on just about anything and everything. It reminds me of our journey before we reached the lake. The more I dwell on it, though, the more I realize how drastically things have changed in a matter of days. Bemele's discourse forms a mirror from one time to another in my mind, casting all that has changed in a glaring silver. He swings our hands back and forth slightly as he continues to lead the conversation, trying not to let me become too absorbed in my troubled musings. Ah-hee-hee. Ah-ha-ha. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alrighty. After winding our way around a large stretch of the island, a massively overgrown tree intersects our path. I move to push the offending branches out of the way, but Bemele stops me.
Please, let me handle this.
I can handle it, Bemele. I let my arms fall as I watch him. He unsheaths his sword and chops the branches down with a single blow. He releases a hearty laugh and I grin at him, the sheer audacity of the action enabling me to ignore his sword misuse.
It's been far too long since I've taken it out. At this rate, I'll forget how to even use a sword before we arrive.
I see.
I unsheath my own sword and level the honed edge.
Would you be up for a bout of sparring?
He doesn't miss a beat.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, let's go! Sparring! I step into the sand to give us a little space, and Bemele eagerly trails behind me. We are gonna get fucked up by something in this water. Oh, look at him! He's so handsome. Once we find our footing, Bemele assumes a defensive stance, centered, turned away from me, and the sword drawn in front of his body. I do the same as I circle him swiftly, being sure to stay just out of striking distance as I watch for the slightest tell of an opening. Whenever he attempts to put some space between us, I dart in toward his back, forcing him to stay mostly in place to defend. It takes 3 sharp jabs before what I was hoping for happens. As he turns to face me, one of his feet lands slightly out of place on the loose sand, and I take my opening, striking immediately. Bemele regains his balance just before I make contact, though, parrying and using his heavier frame to force me back a few steps, even as I jump from the sword lock. Hoping to catch me off balance from his push, he strikes, but I weave out of the way. Bemele has more strength and a larger striking distance, so I've learned to capitalize on my higher agility and smaller hit zone when facing him, even if I usually prefer a more grounded strategy. We trade blows, neither of us ever scoring a hit, but both keeping each other on edge. For a little while, time flows past us easily, and there's nothing that matters but avoiding an attack that will never be lethal, grinning as our steel clay. Noticing my labored breathing, I call off the fight.
Stop. We can't exert all our energy here.
Bemele releases a winded chuckle.
Thank God there's at least one of us responsible enough to point that out.
I smile and return my sword to its scabbard. Bemele does likewise and glances over at me.
Would it perhaps be all right to at least finish our stroll before sitting back down again?
We shouldn't go the entire length of the island, but I suppose we can walk just a little longer.
It's a deal.
We can walk a little closer. I allow myself to drift closer to Bemele. There is not too much space between us as we walk side by side. Bemele views me from the corner of his eye and looks more than pleased. Hearts were eased with someone special. Oh, that's cute. For a brief moment, all the troublesome circumstances seemed to float away from our minds, and we enjoy each other's company. I wish I could go on for so much longer, but it's only a while later that I have to speak up.
We really should rest before nightfall.
I'm fine with that idea.
Bimeli leads us over to the area where the guide mentioned we were going to meet. He lowers himself down onto the ground and stretches out right there, presumably intending to wait until the guide arrives. A little more dramatic of resting than I planned. I walk over and make myself comfortable next to him, though not as comfortable as he made it himself. It isn't very long until Margaret appears. She doesn't comment on our resting positions, however she's clearly smirking about it.
Hello, Margaret.
Are you still holding up fine?
I would rather speak of anything other than that.
I think we can manage that.
The three of us quietly wait for the guide's arrival, occasionally chatting with one another as we rest. The sky turns orange as the sunset comes upon us. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. What if we just stay on the island forever? As the color seems to drain from the world being consumed by the fog, the guide makes his appearance.
It's almost time.
How can you romance the guide? I don't get it. I nod and feel myself grow tense. We truly are about to return to those bridges. All of us wait in an uncomfortable silence until night falls. We silently stand as one, forming a vigil of sorts. Our remaining lanterns illuminate the dark, prepared for tonight's journey. And yet the way forward does not appear. The bridges haven't risen from the depths. I glance to my side. Guy doesn't look at all pleased. The corners of his mouth have a harsh bent as he briefly loses himself into heavy thoughts.
We must go to the shore.
Doesn't offer an explanation for why. Instead, he goes on without us. I follow after the guide, my forehead creasing with swelling worry. Behind me, I hear Bimeli and Margaret's unsure footsteps. Four of us press onto the shore. Dark waters lap at the edge of the sand, and as expected, the maze is still hidden beneath the surface. The guide grips his staff tighter still, his knuckles turning ghostly white. He sucks in a breath of air like he's about to speak, but he hesitates. We all stare at him expectantly. After a moment more, the guide is fed up with waiting.
Bridges are late. If they don't arrive as soon as darkness falls, there's no telling exactly how long it will be before they do.
Bimeli's face immediately sours and he isn't able to stay silent about his feelings.
So we're going to waste our time standing idly by. There's hardly enough time to make the trip as it is.
Shut up, Bimeli.
Complaining won't make these bridges come any sooner, though I sympathize with your frustrations. The wait had already been tense as it was. Not knowing how much longer it will last makes it that much more dreadful.
Time is by far the least of our worries. On the bridges we are constantly moving, which makes it easier to avoid the prowlers. However, this island does not offer that luxury. We're trapped here.
My body goes ridges as his words sink in.
More importantly, the bridges are raised above the waters. Nixie have difficulties pulling themselves up onto the bridges. The soft sloping of the shore will allow far more prowlers to drag themselves towards us. Not all will be as dangerous as the ones we've encountered thus far. However, we could easily be overwhelmed.
A pit forms deep in my stomach. I stare at him aghast. I had no idea the situation was that dire. I glance from the waterline to the trees. What I'm looking for, I don't know. A sign of what might to come, perhaps.
I wonder if those fires had anything to do with this.
Bimeli's words are biting as he wanders aloud. Guide answers Bimeli firmly, wanting to put an end to speculation.
No. Whatever magic controlling the bridges is inconsistent. Humans haven't found a way to impact it. We can only do temporary physical damage to the boards.
Bimeli is still displeased. Margaret roos in discussion. Her mood is rapidly declining as well.
Then what should we do? We shouldn't stay on the shore if the monsters could be coming towards us at any moment.
Guide closes his eyes and suddenly looks very worn down.
Staying in the center of the island is the safest option. However, there's the risk that we may not be able to reach the bridges when they do rise. Prowlers could have taken full control of the shore by then. Remaining here with our lanterns will ensure the Prowlers cannot move freely.
My brows involuntarily knit together. I don't like the sound of taking additional risks in an area that's already so dangerous, but our options are thin.
I will not be kept on this island for another day, so the shore is where I will be. You may wait at the edge of the forest, or even at the center of the island if you fear being attacked. If the Prowlers come between us and you fail to make it to the bridges, I will leave you behind.
We're ruthless. Molly spits hatefully under his breath.
Of course you would.
True. Generosity is not something I would expect from the guide. That's not the conversation we need to have at this moment. The guide has made his decision and we must make ours.
If you were staying by the shore, perhaps I could be positioned somewhat further back from you. And then the others could stay further back still. That would keep us safer, without having any major gaps of darkness between us and the shore.
Good suggestion, Kika.
I'd say that's likely our best option, and we don't have time to come up with any other way regardless.
Settled on the matter, the three of us begin to move away from the guide. He pays little attention to us, instead silently fixing his eyes on the water. I take my place in the middle of the shore where Bimeli and Margaret hover close to the island's core on the line between dirt and sand. After getting a sense of where they are, I turn my gaze ahead. At first I think I'm being fooled by the fog. There are several white dots playing along the edges of the water. Dark globes begin to surface and I see them for what they are. Eyes. So many white, dribbling eyes, gleaming sharply against their pitch-black bodies as the Nixie bob up and down. They surface and disappear in a loop, each time more sets of eyes and closer, surveying us more intently. Oh, hell yeah, Kiraden. Let's go, let's go. I might stream another half hour, I think. I want to go read my book. Read my book. I've been reading this book for our book club that I'm in, but we accidentally picked a very long book. But it's very interesting. One of the main characters has one arm, only one arm, and I've never read a book where the character has one arm. And then they cackle. The sound is atrocious, gurgling, then turning high-pitched as they seem to take full stock of us. The lights in their eyes somehow seem brighter as the first of the Nixie dig their claws into the sand and begin dragging themselves upon the shore. I plant my feet firmer. A small shriek pierces the air, accompanied by a telltale hiss. I whip my head backwards toward the sound, only to be greeted by coal-black darkness. Uh-oh. I cry out desperately into the void where Margaret and Benele stood.
What happened?
There's silence, and then the best sound possible. Margaret's voice replies, albeit shakily.
There was a prowler in the woods. I didn't notice it until it was already too close to me. I dropped my lantern when I saw it. The light was enough to drive it away, but now it's gone. Shattered.
I swerve my head back to make sure the shore is still clear before I sprint over to release them from the darkness with my own light. Margaret stares down at the ground dejectedly when I arrive. Bimeli has his hand placed on her shoulder.
I didn't see the thing either. The monster blended in far too well with the dark, crooked trees of this place.
Gives me a sad smile as I approach the two closer.
We can make a small fire for light.
Margaret sniffles loudly.
That may work for now, but what will we do once we're back on the bridges?
We will manage.
Oh, Jesus. I speak firmly, trying to assure her I can't even guess how effective my attempt was. Bimeli begins to gather dry twigs and stones and grass to craft a fire with. Margaret moves to help him. Though she still looks terribly upset, I feel awful. It wasn't her fault. We dig a few inches down in the sandy soil before making an edging with the rocks to stop the fire from giving us a repeat of last night. I layer the fuel quickly and light a match at the base of the pit. Margaret stokes the fire and Benmele feeds the twigs. The grass ignites easily and showers the area with enough light to keep anything that may be lurking in the forest at bay. I release a discreet sigh. We're truly lucky no one was injured or lost during this ordeal. I keep the thought to myself, however. Hearing it would only make Margaret feel worse.
You should go back to your position, Kika. It will all be for nothing if we can't make it onto the bridges in the first place.
Right.
Force myself to sound bold.
We're going to get through this.
Margaret attempts to smile at me and Benmele. Oh, Benmele waves as I cautiously back up to my original position. Return my full focus to the shore. As we feared, this is becoming a pressing situation. More prowlers rose from the waters while my attention was on those two. They've surrounded the guide on both sides. The only way to gain distance from them would be to delve further into the island. Yet the guide shows no signs of giving up his position. He remains where he is, resolving to keep all the monsters near him in sight. I grow more unnerved the longer I watch this. The guide seems impervious to the dangers of Sinlos. The first case where I can't tell whether he will continue to be fine as always or not. It's a distressing notion. As they creep ever closer, I can't stay silent any longer.
Your safety is most important. Consider retreating.
This doesn't face me, but replies.
I cannot do that. Nixie recognized signs of weakness. Backing away will only increase the odds of them attacking.
I grip my lantern tighter as I swallow hard. What can I do? To answer my own question, a thought whispers into my mind and I look down at my lantern. I could throw it. As long as I don't let go too far down the shore, it doesn't seem plausible that a Nyx could take it. Fucking do that, you stupid bitch. I can't deal with you, bitches. I can't deal with you. I can't do it. Do not throw it. In my heart, we shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's insane. We're gonna be fucked. Guide has managed through every situation we've been through, as well as countless others we did not bear witness to. I resolve to continue with what we planned. Without flinching, the guide keeps hold of our position on the waterline. I periodically switch between watching him, the others, and the rest of the shore. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Whoops, no. As I scan the forest, there's a stinging groan. Is that the guide? It can't be. I stand rigid in shock, a painful prickling sensation going down my back before whipping around to face the truth. He's crouched low on the ground, staring forcefully as a group of Nixie head on. There is a whole other group of monsters rapidly crawling back into the water. Step forward with a shout, but he pulls out his hands to halt me. I do not go further. I and those creatures motionlessly watch for what he will do. His fingers curl tightly around the upper half of his staff. Great effort, he begins to rise to his unstable feet. The moment he is fully upright, the guide aggressively swings his lantern at the encroaching Nixie, catches them completely off guard, and they scatter to rejoin the rest in the black depths. Guide crumples back to the sand unceremoniously. I can hear his ragged breaths as he regains his composure. What happened? He tugs at one side of his cloak, bringing it closer around himself. It covers up a dark, growing stain. Uh-oh, creeping through his pant leg. Even while collapsed, he seems compelled to hide his fragility. Is that admirable or saddening? I do not know anymore. Oh, the guide roughly pulls himself back to his feet and forces himself to remain standing. The rest of us must remain strong as well if we are to survive this night. Gripping my lantern, I watch over everything and everyone in sight, vigilantly. After an untold period of time, the water begins to stir. There's an unusual gurgling sound I never thought would be relieved to hear. Okay, we're gonna do this. I really want to know what happened. What happened? What happened? He fixes his gaze elsewhere. It gives me the impression that he's aware of what I'm planning on doing. He's ignoring me because he doesn't want the Nixie to recognize a coming threat. Oh yes, it is getting late, Kiridan. I don't have to work till 1 p.m. tomorrow, so pretty excited about that. I jump forward a small way and toss my lantern toward the group of Nixie on the guide's right side. They're all caught completely off guard, practically wheezing as they scatter and dive back to the depths below. Yes, good night, Kiridan. I hope you have sweet dreams. Take care. I love when you are in my chat because I get to see a little chikorita. So cute. None even attempt to steal the lantern. This is a great relief. The guide seizes this moment to swing his staff at the groups of Nixie on his left. Alright, well. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. At least the guide's not injured. The left group joins the right in retreat. Guide observes the water line, making certain that they will all crawl back into the water, and then releases a small sigh. He walks over to retrieve my lantern in the sand where it landed, keeping his eyes fixed steadily behind him. Tentatively, I take a few steps toward him. He extends his arm forward, offering my lantern back to me. I've never gotten this close to the guide before. He hasn't allowed it. Being in his presence this way feels unclear. I don't have the words to describe what it turns inside of me. Who are you, mysterious man? His eyes are expectant, impatient, and I waste no more time. I move to accept it, but I flinch before I can grasp it.
What's wrong?
His face hardens, scrutinizing the unexpected reaction. I banish whatever expression was on my face and take hold of what's mine.
It is nothing.
He lets go, though does not make any attempt to leave. I don't believe it is because he's worried about leaving me in the darkness. I still suspect something is wrong. The guide watches closely as I set the lantern aflame once more. The light gently washes over me and I smile at the sight. This tool I hold is one of the exceedingly few comforts one can have on Sinlos. I do not wish to part with it again. He's still here, and I begin to worry the guide intends to admonish me for what I've done. I may have let emotion show in my face again because he starts to speak.
Keeping a hold of your light is crucial. However, if you took no risk, your only way across could have been lost. It wasn't an empty self-sacrifice.
Logical.
In your position, neither option was correct. Neither was wrong.
Our enigmatic lead nods, and upon finishing his thought, he returns to his original place. I stare flabbergasted at the guide's back. By chance, I was put in a circumstance that allowed our values to align, but never would I have expected him to acknowledge that I made an acceptable decision. I stopped myself from getting further distracted. Instead, I glance down at my light and realize the glow looks different. I wince. There's a large crack wickedly carving up the back. I'm thankful that it still works. I still fear that it will not hold until the morning. I look forlornly at the fragile glass surrounding the simple flame. In a way, this event has forcefully reminded me of how fragile my own life is. One slip could mean the end of everything. Regardless, nothing can be done presently, and we've got enough to worry about as it is. I cannot let this consume me. We will continue to resist against this lake. After an untold period of time, the water begins to stir. There's an unusual gurgling sound I never thought I'd be so relieved to hear. Slowly, creakily, the bridges make their nightly appearance. Sinlos is an overwhelmingly cruel environment. This island had felt like a safe haven such a short time ago, but that's been twisted to the point where I'm grateful for a chance to return to the maze. We may not even reach that. Uh-oh. More Nixie are breaching the water and wrenching themselves onto the sand. The guide signals to all of us. Thanks to his position on the shore, the guide is able to board the bridges without confrontation. For the rest of us, however, the Nixie begin to crowd the opening. It appears they want to get on themselves. Desperately, a little time before we'll get cut off from the guide. Look to my lantern. Light be alone to cause them to disperse.
Come on!
Margaret's shout cuts straight through my thoughts. Hell yeah, girlie. She's advancing toward me holding a heavy stick with the end set on fire as a makeshift torch. The sight is striking.
It won't last long! We need to get through now!
She needs not say any more. The three of us push our way forward. As we advance, Margaret relays her plan.
We'll toss the branch when we get close. The smoke spewing off this thing is making it even harder to see than usual. So you tell me when it's time, Kika.
I can do that.
Shore approaches closer and closer. Every single one of the Nixie turn their attention towards our small group. Now! After alerting Margaret, she gives her all to hurl the flame ahead while avoiding setting the bridge on fire. Monsters flee from the torch. The path is clear. We waste not one moment, springing toward the bridges. The others near my side, I amble back to the maze. Won't stop till there's a considerable distance between us and the shore. It is there that we encounter the guide. On seeing his figure, I hide a sigh of relief. We haven't been left behind. Our arrival doesn't change the guide's empty expression. He doesn't say or do anything, instead of allowing all of us to catch our breath. Bamele starts to laugh incredulously, though, through uneven breaths.
Such recklessness. I can hardly believe it worked.
Margaret chimes in, equally as amazed and exhausted.
I don't know how we managed to do nothing wrong. That feels far more fitting for this journey.
Yes, you could have burnt your fingertips off. Or perhaps the bridges could have gone up in flames.
Margaret looks at him curiously. Bamele gives her a wink.
That would have been the outcome if I was handling the torch, you think?
Margaret's lip quirk into a smile.
Yes.
We chat through the moment of triumph for a little before the guide ends his silence.
We need to start walking. We've already lost much time as it is.
Quickly straighten myself out and mull over our current situation. We start to consider how we are going to travel now that we have only 2 lanterns.
I can stay ahead in between the guide's light and yours. I will be fine there.
And at that I become fraught with worry. I look over at Bamele, concern riding through my body as I wonder how he'll fare being so far away from a light source.
Well, the 3 of us could walk together. If there's one person close by, I can't imagine it would make much of a difference having another. Furthermore, I believe we've all taken enough risks for each other already for this to not be a problem.
True life, girly pop, true life. Margaret, her consideration touches me. I smile gratefully at her. Bamele and I confer with our eyes before silently agreeing with one another. We nod.
Okay, we'll do that then. Thank you.
Other than having a bit of a crowd as opposed to entirely straight line, our journey moves ahead as it did the night before. Silent night creeps along as we carefully move through the thick fog, making certain not to bump. Then my lantern blinks. It fizzles out. Son of a bitch. The 3 of us gasp simultaneously, and I hold my breath. Like time will stop with my breathing. To my great relief, the light flutters back on. The air I'd been anxiously holding on releases the Nissa.
What's going on?
Guide is halted, but does not bother to turn around as he asks the question.
It was nothing.
I watch as he shifts his head back to look at us. The stare he gives is probing and deeply unnerving. He doesn't believe me. I return his gaze, my expression blank. I remain locked in this moment. I can feel his patience with me slipping away. He chooses not to spend any longer waiting for an answer that will not come. The guide faces his back to us once more. He acts without a word, but I know he isn't satisfied. Our small group shares anxiety-ridden looks as the guide moves ahead. I look down at my lantern. The crack seems larger than ever. I feel as though I'm cracking with it. There's nothing I could do to fix it should it go out for good.
We need to keep going. We shouldn't speak of this.
I can feel that they're apprehensive over the situation, and undoubtedly curious as to how it happened in the first place. I feel like I should have let the guide get hurt, because like He's been a butthole to me the whole time, and Margaret's been not a butthole, and you know, now we're gonna have like no lanterns. But Margaret did bust her lantern, so like really that's kinda on her, you know? That's kinda on her. The chattering of the Nixie bubbles up out of the darkness, and I gulp harshly. The thought crosses my mind that they too have noticed what transpired. Oh, I want to keep going, you guys, but my voice is actually giving out a little bit. So I think I will, oops. I will have to save it here and call it. I was going to try to get to 3 hours, but I'm a little eepy. So I'm thinking we raid out here. And find someone to raid. I love playing visual novels, but reading through it is a little tough. It makes me not want to read at all. Say anything. Alrighty. Let's see what the heck are people doing. What the heck are people doing? Game looks fun. I think we're gonna raid Ryu because this game looks interesting and I want to see what's up with it. So let's do that. Is that working? Yeah. Alright, friendies. I'm not sure if anyone's still here. But we are gonna raid my friend Ryu. Let's see. If you are still here and you want to hang out and copy those raid messages, I would really appreciate it. I will be back not tomorrow because tomorrow's Chainsaw Man. I will be back on Friday. On Friday, I'm gonna be reading some scary stories / playing spooky games. So maybe like some Resident Evil or like Dead by Daylight or something a little spooky that's not too spooky for Sue. But I'll be doing that on Friday before D&D. Probably like 8:39 p.m. CST. So yeah, I'll see you guys all next time. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope you guys all take care. Sleep well, everybody, and I hope you don't have nightmares from this spooky game. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.